Grew up in the village in Oklahoma City, North Oklahoma City, with just my brother and my mom. My brother got an NES before I was born. We played Tetris. We played Mario. We played Duck Hunt. We played Super Mario Brothers 3 until it was stolen. We also played a few games that we rented: RBI baseball, World Cup soccer, and ice hockey. But we weren't ever really big into gaming. It was something that we just kind of did every now and then, you know? Um, it was just something to have in the house on a rainy day because most of the time, despite the anger of our neighborhood, we were out running around playing war, grabbing Star Wars blasters and Nerf guns, and firing across the street saying like pew 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 pew. I got you. No, you didn't get me. I have armor. Bitch, my armor shoots through your armor. No, 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 no. My armor is specifically like shielded against your gunfire. That fun stuff. That's all we. That's most of what we did. We didn't play games, not that much. Again, only when it was raining, really, and only when like it was too hot out or something like that. Weather permitted, we would run out. We would just tear ass outside the house, pants, shirt optional. Like we just run out of the street. I just like being little white trash kids. Uh, and so gaming just wasn't that big of a deal to us. We didn't really play it that much. We did get a Super Nintendo in 1991, and we played Super Mario World a lot. We played it a lot. We got a lot of different games. We got. Let's see here. We got Super Mario World. We got Street Fighter Turbo. We got oh god, I can't remember. We got so many games. We got Bebe's Kids. Don't know why. I liked the movie as a kid. I saw it on sale. I bought it with we had a giant chug of change that we took to Toys R Us, threw it on the thing, and just dumped all the change out. It was like a 30-pound jug of just pennies and nickels. Like there's probably like 5 quarters in that entire fucking jug. So so we're hoping we brought out like 7,000 fucking pennies. Um, and that nightmare. Now, that's how we had to buy our games back then, because we were very, very, well, I guess I'll be blunt, poor. We were poor. My mom was a single mother, and so we were very poor. Now, thankfully, we were able to be taken care of in the parts that my mom was unable to really go that extra mile by our grandparents. Our grandparents were able to support us in a lot of ways. That's how we got stuff like the Super Nintendo. So because we were poor, we mostly rented movies, or sorry, rented games. We'd rent them from this hole in the wall video rental storage place, and I mean hole in the wall. We're in Cassidy Square. There's Pennsylvania Avenue right here, Britain Avenue coming this way. In this corner, in the southeast corner, is a Homeland. I think now it's been a Walmart neighborhood center a couple times. I think it's swapped between neighborhood Walmart and Homeland. I think now it's a Homeland again. So Homeland and a strip center going this way. In that back corner, so you go all the way to the Homeland, you turn right, and there's a concrete hallway that went into the side of the building, and there was a glass door with a glass apparatus facade on the side of it that was completely covered with movie posters. Go in, and like I said, it's just a hole in the wall. It's small, it's thin, just goes back. It just squeezed between the Homeland and the beauty shop next door. I think it was. Maybe it was like a nail salon or something. And so we would go in there and we'd rent whatever game we could come across. Like renting ice hockey and RBI baseball, and you know, just other games like that. You know, uh, and we'd go in there. There'd be these brown clamshell VHS tapes where the guy literally typed on a keyboard to give them titles. I mean, you go in there as a kid and there's just posters everywhere. Whatever there's not a movie case to be picked off the wall is movie posters. I remember seeing the poster for Bonfire of the Vanities and thinking that movie has to be the most amazing movie ever, because at the bottom of the poster was like 20 pictures of like the best actors to have ever acted in the world. Still have not seen that movie, and from what I understand, it's pretty terrible. So we kind of grew up renting games as a convenience and playing games as an extreme convenience. Like I said, mostly we were running out into the street, jumping people's fences to fight other people, in this imaginary war we were having, you know. And we would, like I said, we go to a friend's house, we play some games, we play Mario Party every now and then, but that's going ahead to the 64. So Super Nintendo, we got deeper into gaming in the Super Nintendo, but still not to the point where we, considered it to be something that we did normally. Okay. Around this time is when Blockbuster came in on the very corner. So like down the area in that back next to Homeland, that was the dingy hole in the wall movie rental place, and then straight down here towards Pennsylvania, in the very corner, is the brand new Blockbuster. Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference! And so we got a whole new world, because Blockbuster can get all the movies and a ton of games. And so we started renting more games. We rented games like Mega Man 10. Mega Man X. Sorry, Mega Man X. As a kid, we couldn't figure out if it meant 10 or X. And so I got stuck still saying 10. And we rented that game like 20 fucking times. And every time we would get stuck at the very beginning stage because we would always forget you can wall jump. and then finally, oh, we can wall jump. So, we still, loved gaming, even though we didn't do that often. And so when the N64 came out, for one of our, I think it was for my birthday, my mom rented an N64 console. Like you had, from a different Blockbuster, because our local one wasn't. What is it? I think it just didn't. I didn't have them. So we rented the N64, which cost $300. Cost $300 to rent the N64, because you had to put it down. Essentially, you had to pay for the console up front, and then once you return the console, they would charge you a little bit for the actual charge. But first, to actually get the console, you had to throw down $300. And so we got to play the N64, and this console was amazing. We were blown with 3D graphics. We were blown the fuck away. We loved Mario 64. We loved Pilot Wings. We were blown away by that console. And so the console had to go away. We were distraught because, oh shit, it's such a cool console, but we're never going to get it. A friend tells us that we are going to get it Christmas, but to keep it quiet. Problem with the kid, especially me, I don't know how to act surprised. I've never been able to act surprised. Oh, wow, an N64. Oh my God. Cool. Cool, thanks, Mom, for the N64. Not a good actor. So when we did get the N64 for Christmas of '96, our mom was a little frustrated that we knew what we were getting. but we were ecstatic. We played that console way more than any other previous console. Um, and we loved it. We had our NES, Super NES, and N64. We were a Nintendo household. Sega. We didn't even know any friends who had Sega. Like I think maybe a couple of them did, but not know when we would actually go to their houses. No, the people we went to the houses, those are people who also were Nintendo fans. They had the Mario Party. They had, you know, other things. It was just like we just played Mario Kart, you know. Uh, and so we would, the N64 was a very different time for us, um, and mostly because that was the time that we started going to private school. Again, we were a poor family, but our grandparents would essentially pay for certain amenities for us to do things that we normally wouldn't be able to do, like go to private school on the condition that we do go to the Catholic mass more often on on Sundays, and we would for a time. And so we lost a lot of friends when we switched from our public schools to the private schools. When both of us went to St. Eugene in Oklahoma City. And so, oh, they can hear that? Oh, crap. Hope I haven't been doing that all the time. Okay. So, yeah. Um, it was weird. So we started using video gaming as more of an escape in those late 90 days, especially with GoldenEye. Later on with Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was a little late, so less with Perfect Dark, but definitely with GoldenEye. And we, we got all this stuff. We got Blast Core. We got here we got Blast Core. We got man, I'm blanking. We got Mario Kart. We got Mario 64. We got Pilot Wings. We got I was gonna say Mario Kart again. We got a lot of games. We got a lot of games, and then we got robbed. So yeah, N64 gone. Most of our games gone. My brother was allowing people to rent or borrow some of our games, so he had a little box that had some games in them still, and so we didn't lose all the N64 games, but we lost most of them, and we lost all the NES games, all the Super Nintendo games. They didn't take the NES; they just took the games. But they took the Super Nintendo and all those games. They took the N64 and all the games that they could. They tried to take the old Apple, like the old Mac, that our mom had. They tried to take that, but that's like 100 pounds of computer plus monitor, so they didn't make it out the door with that thing. And so we, you know, time to go talk to the claims adjuster. You know, an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old talking to a claims adjuster about, well, guys, hopefully this will teach you that you guys need to save your receipts. He still gave us the money, but still was like, who the fuck are you to tell little kids that they need to keep their receipts? Like, fuck off. Just give the money. Just pay out the policy like you said, like the policy says you will. Come on. And so, time to rebuild what was lost. We go to Sears. But this is 97. This is 97. It had to be 97. I don't think it was 98. It was like fall of 97. We go to Sears. Well, there's N64. Cool. Grab a couple of games that we did lose. All right, grabbed. All right, let's grab the Super Nintendo. Okay. Now let's replace our games. Well, I I see I see Street Fighter. and I see Mario World. I don't see any Bebe's Kids. I don't see any other games that we own. So we won't be able to build our our Super Nintendo library back to where it was. Well, at this time, my brother had met his mother. Or sorry, my brother had met his father. Because we are actually half brothers. So he had met his father, and he had been spending a lot of time with his father. And his father was corrupting him, breaking the natural order of things, teaching him of a new order. He brought PlayStation into our house. And so, my brother told stories of the Twisted Metal, of Warhawk, of several of these adult feeling games. Nintendo felt childish, felt cartoony, it felt in the past. But PlayStation was on discs. PlayStation was interesting. Well, so without being able to get the Super Nintendo back with all the games, the corruption had a way in. And we became miscegenated. Nintendo and PlayStation. Our household was corrupted. And so we had the PlayStation with the old non-analog stick, and we played so many games on that. We loved that console. That PlayStation 1, that shit, that was when we actually got deeply invested into gaming on not only a just fun, let's play games together standpoint, but from a story standpoint. We were getting really deep into stuff like Resident Evil 2, the mature games, because oh my god, we're like 12 and playing mature rated titles. Oh my god. We're playing Grand Theft Auto on the PlayStation 1. Oh, Garunga, or whatever they say when you run over all those cultists in that game. And so so it just felt so cool to be playing PlayStation. Just so cool to be playing something different. And my brother went on beyond that. My brother started going and getting into PC gaming, or as our mom called it, breaking her computer. And so we still had a lot of fun with PlayStation. The problem is going from a household of Nintendo, from NES, Super NES, and even 64, we never used memory cards. This is not a house for memory cards. When you don't have enough money for school uniforms, you don't buy a memory card for your PlayStation. Okay? So we would just play games that didn't require memory cards because of the type of games they were. Like Twisted Metal, you could play through an entire character's storyline within like 45 minutes. No need for a memory card. And so you just play each one at a time, go through, just replay the multiplayer, not really caring about the memory card situation. The time where the memory card situation actually mattered was when we went to Blockbuster, and they were selling used games. So the first used game I ever bought was Wing Commander 4, with Mark Hamill and Thomas F. Wilson, I believe. The guy who played Biff from Back to the Future. Chalk up another for the maniac. And Wing Commander 4 is on 4 discs. An incredibly long game, you think. But mostly it's because of the full motion videos. It's actually a pretty short game. So we're playing this game. So we play this game, and we enjoy this game. But I'm not really paying attention to the rules and the ideas of this game. And that there's a dialogue tree, like I think in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So when people talk, you can say yes, no, or you can send orders like fight or defend, type, very simple things. And I never noticed it, and so I'd always get to a certain part of the game, and I get blown out of the sky by the people I thought were my allies, and then that's it. Well, okay, I guess that's as far as I'm getting. Now, because we had no memory card, always had to start all the way from the beginning, all in that fucking Mos Eisley's Cantina ripoff. And so we were kind of stuck for the longest time on that game because we didn't have a memory card. And we didn't really play that much because of that, because essentially we had to restart all the way from the beginning, go through all that stuff, and then try to get further and not understanding what we're doing wrong. It wasn't until I tried it again and actually paid attention to the screen and noticed, oh wait, there's like a dialogue tree and I have to press a certain button. I can actually swap between the two things. And I can press this button to send. Oh, okay, I'm actually on the second disc now. Oh my god, there's actually a lot more story here. Oh, there's something interesting here. Oops, I kind of fucked that up. And so my brother and I got together on this. He's like 15, I'm like 12. And we're like, we're going to beat this game. Again, no money for a memory card, but we're going to beat this game. And so we put the console, the PlayStation out in the living room, hooked it up to the screen, the largest screen in the house, which is like a super heavy Sony CRT that my mom won from her job. And just so we can see everything clearly. And so we go through the entire game in one evening, from dinner to almost actually I think it was a weekend. So we went through the entire game on like a Saturday. Just blew through the entire game. Get to the very end. It's Mark, your character is Mark Hamill. You're looking at the villain, Malcolm McDowell. He's at the Space UN or whatever, and he's telling a speech about how, we're gonna take out the Chitauri or whatever the Qatari or whatever the cat people are in the Wing Commander universe. And so the first time we did it, we just say, go out there. And so Mark Hamill ran out there in the promotion video, gets fucking tackled, sent to jail, gets hung. Or, yeah, I think it's a hanging. But yeah, it gets executed. No memory card. No save file to go back to. All the way back to the beginning. Disc 1. So, we had to try it again. It's where perseverance is insane. And it's just a game. But it's a game that we had a lot of fun playing, especially together. It's a single player game that my brother and I were constantly playing together. We'd swap off to you could play this mission, I could play that mission. We both agree which part, the decisions on the dialogue tree we should go with. We were essentially cooperatively playing this single player game. And so it was a school week. And we're like, no. We're gonna beat this. And we're gonna make sure we do the right dialogue trees at the right time. Of course, we didn't have internet at this time. So we couldn't Google what are the right dialogue choices. Hey, Game Facts, what are the right dialogue choices for winning Wing Commander 4? So every evening after dinner, we would play a little bit more. Every night and every morning, we would tell our mom, don't touch this thing. It's going to be green. Don't turn it off. Don't hit it with a vacuum cleaner. Don't touch this console. It was a dire important that you do not touch this console. And day after day, we get further and further and further in until we're back at the Space UN assembly. And time for bed. So we're both at school. I think he's at St. Eugene. I think I'm still at West Circle Hill at the time. Maybe we're both at St. Eugene's. I can't remember exactly that stuff. But we finally get home. Mom's making dinner. We are sitting there going like, Mom, we'll do our dinner. We'll do our homework after dinner because we're so close to beating this game. We just need to do these last dialogue options. We go through the dialogue options. I think it's something like you have to wait a couple of times for Malcolm McDowell to do a specific spot of his speech for you to jump out and say, actually, your speech is a lie. And here's the evidence. But if you jumped out too soon, he would see you and go, that's the traitor. And you get captured, you wait too late. The police of the space UN assembly will come and just arrest you anyway. So you had to time it right, and then once you get out there, you have to actually make all these cogent arguments in a row. And somehow, my brother and I did it. We got the good ending. We got the best ending. It was an incredible experience. It was also an experience that we had to get a fucking memory card. Now, we didn't really get a memory card until we moved to Salem, Massachusetts. We moved to Salem, Massachusetts because our mom was in a relationship with a guy that she loved, but that's something else. And so Salem, Massachusetts was very hard for us. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times for all three of us, for my mom, for me, and my brother. Because it was an incredible place to live. My mom loved the cities. She loved Boston. She loved Marblehead. She loved Lynn. Lynn, City of Sin. You don't go out the way you came in. She loved, just the culture and atmosphere of this place so much more than Oklahoma. And so my brother loved, and I loved the friends we made there. Tommy Lloyd, Stephen Lloyd, Todd Graham, just Richard Burke. We love and we all were part of a backyard wrestling federation. Backyard wrestling was a great place to alleviate this anger and frustration that we had because we left all of our friends behind. We were dealing with schools that we didn't like. My brother was tortured essentially at Marblehead High School. I was having a lot of issues at Salem. I don't even know what Salem school is. It Collins something? I don't know. It looks like a freaking castle on a hill. And I was having issues with that school. We were both suffering from depression. My brother was suffering from other stuff as well. And so we used this backyard wrestling as a escape and as just a way to get this anger out of us, because depression is essentially anger management turned inward, is what I've been told by psychologists and stuff like that. It's actually like a anger management issue. And so we really kind of medicated through violence, through SDF, ECW. Now, not the ECW, we didn't care about trademark rules as middle schoolers, so we use the term ECW for our own wrestling federation. And so, we all enjoyed WWF. We enjoyed the Attitude Era, the Degeneration X, the more chud-like wrestling situation. And through that, we got into a bunch of wrestling video games. And when it came to one of them was WWF SmackDown. In that game, you had to have a memory card. We got a memory card, and I saved my wrestlers on there. They had all these massive, epic storylines. It was great. And we went home to Oklahoma. I'm not going to go into why we had to go back to Oklahoma, but drama, bad news, bad stuff. But we made it back to Oklahoma. And at this point, I'm getting work. And actually, hold on. I might have the wrong dates here because I'm trying to think of when I got Pokemon Yellow. I may have gotten Pokemon Yellow before we moved out there. That may have been 97. No, 98. No, no. So it came out. It came out right before we moved. So I did have it at the time. I was working for our grandfather. He was an interior decorator, and he liked to do these random projects and stuff. And that summer was the summer of the Doors. And I will talk about the summer of the Doors some other time. Actually, probably with my brother. Bring my brother out here, and we'll talk about the summer of the Doors. Probably once we were both inoculated for COVID. Um, so yeah, okay. So I had my Game Boy Color that was actually for the yellow. It had the little Pokeball that glowed red when it was turned on. I had and played you know played Pokemon Yellow a lot, and of course didn't know that I was an RPG. Now with a memory card and a PlayStation, I was able to get into RPGs. And when we were back in Oklahoma, that's when I started getting stuff like Chrono Cross, um, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy IX, Legend of Dragoon, tried Legend of Legaia, I think it was. We tried a bunch of different games, did a bunch of different things, and um, we just had a I just had a lot of fun playing these RPGs, and I was getting deep into RPGs. I loved Chrono Cross. I loved Final Fantasy IX. I loved Legend of Dragoon. Legend of Dragoon is my favorite RPG of the PlayStation One era, bar none. Like just that one just was amazing to me. Loved the quick attack system. I loved the story. Loved the characters. I remember crying at that game multiple times. Great emotional story. Um, so that I got deep into RPGs. PlayStation Two came out. PlayStation Two came out. I had been working at my uncle's interior decoration place for a whole summer to save up for to save up for the PlayStation 2. I got it pre-ordered, I think in like June, maybe July, and PlayStation 2s were going to be super low in stock. PS5 right now. Still don't have a PS5 by the way. Um, and so they called us, called me sometime in October. I think it was like a week before. They said, we're not going to have your PlayStation 2 by now. We're not going to have your PlayStation 2. Okay. When are you going to have it? We don't know. Okay. All right, fine. And I was upset. My brother saw that I was upset. So what he did on October 26th, well, actually, it's October 25th because they were midnight releases. October 25th, he got into his car and he drove to like 5 or 6 different Best Buys, GameStops, Circuit Cities, CompUSA's. I don't know. He went to a bunch of different places to see how many PlayStations each person was, what each place was getting. And they were getting like 5 or 6 people, and there's always like 5 or 6. They were getting 5 or 6 consoles, and always 5 or 6 people in each line. So, but he was out there driving around constantly, and I remember Sega bought a bunch of trucks, semi trucks, and I think mostly did this in uh, New York and LA, but they essentially painted the sides of trucks, saying like if you had a Sega Dreamcast, you'd be home by now, or or something like like looking for like I don't know. They had some joke on the side of these trucks to mock people waiting in line for a PlayStation, which bad move. I think that was a bad move. That's not how you pull people over to your console. That just pisses people off even more. Um, and so my brother did all this stuff for me. Did not get a PlayStation. Which whatever. I didn't expect him to even do that, and that was so incredible of him. But I did get my PlayStation. I think in November, maybe early December, of 2000, and had a lot of fun with it, but didn't really like it. The exclusives were stuff I didn't really care about. And it was just meh. It was just okay. Yeah, that is what it is. I think I played more PlayStation 1 games on it than I did play PS2 games. I didn't like the bouncer. I didn't like the summoner. I um I didn't really like Final Fantasy X. And I think Final Fantasy X was pretty much like the last um game I played on the PlayStation 2. Of course I loved um Grand Theft Auto, but that was exclusive at the time, but it was coming to the Xbox later on. And Xbox, oh my god, the Xbox when that was announced, I remember talking to kids at camp about how Microsoft just wants to capture everything. Microsoft just wants to take over everything. Like how dare they want to get into gaming? They ain't Nintendo. They ain't PlayStation. They ain't Sony. What is Microsoft doing? So Microsoft announced their Direct Xbox. That's it was known for a brief time, and wasn't interested. Wasn't interested in it at all until I think it was like 2003. And in 2003, I finally actually had my hands on Halo. Oh man, Halo. Oh, that was a gameplay revolution right there. I loved Halo. And I had to get an Xbox. Had to. And I went out, traded in my PlayStation 2, traded in my GameCube, which I did get a GameCube as well and had some fun with it. Loved Animal Crossing, loved Sunshine, but that was pretty much the only games I really played on it. I was hyped for the Capcom 5 or whatever. It was like P&O 5, um, Billy Hatcher, Beautiful Joe, and some other stuff. And once I didn't really enjoy Beautiful Joe and stuff, I was just like, I'm not gonna wait for anything else. So everything got traded. I traded in everything, every PS2 thing, every GameCube thing. I even had the little GameCube like attachment to the bottom, so I could play my Game Boy Colors on Game Boy Color games on the GameCube. Traded all that in for an Xbox. Got an Xbox. Got Halo. Got Kung Fu Hustle and a couple other things. And I mean that essentially was my life until the PlayStation. Like Halo and Xbox console from 2003 to 2013 for 10 years. That was my life. I played that console to death. Rally Sport Challenge 2. I wasn't good at them, but the Splinter Cell games. And then in like late, I think it was late. Whenever Counter Strike for the Xbox came out, that was when I bought Xbox Live. I bought Xbox Live specifically for Counter Strike, and I didn't play it. I played it against bots. I didn't like playing Counter Strike online on the Xbox. So, but what I did like playing online on Xbox was Project Gotham Racing 2, and that's where I met several of my friends, earliest Xbox Live friends. So I met BioMonkey, and I was the best man at his wedding in 2018. Yeah, so and I can go into more contemporary things about my time in gaming, but really, that's the biggest. This is the biggest time for me. 26. Like the Xbox 360 didn't get mine until like January of 2006 because they were in such short supply. I didn't get a PS3 until 2013. I got a PS4 in 2013, actually on release date finally. I got the Xbox One in June of 2014, whenever they first released Xbox Ones that did not come with the Kinect. And I got the PS4 Pro eventually. Then I got the Xbox One X, and now I have the Xbox Series X, and I have a gaming PC now. And so More into gaming now than I've ever been, even if I don't really play games as often as I probably should. But yeah, that's where I'm into gaming. That's what I do for gaming.